Bismillah, alhamdulillah, salatu salam, sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. My name is Tara Khalid. I'd like to welcome to our program here at Sharjah Media Corporation, Doing Good, and we hope, may Allah's mercy and grace, that everyone out there today is striving with all your might to please Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and in that, your life is a very good one. And today, let's start off and see what the Prophet ﷺ has to say to us. And the Prophet ﷺ said more or less, whoever has a good turn done to him should return the favor. It's collected by Abu Dawud and Tirmidhi. Whoever has a good turn done to him should return the favor. And of course, what is this? This keeps us in Allah's favor, doesn't it? And we should compete. This is another thing. And I'll ask you, ask yourself this, and ask your friends and family members, and do it. Try to do something different. When was the last time that you heard of, or you yourself, competed with someone for doing good deeds? Think about it. Think about it. And most of us have to really think. We said, I made intention with someone else that I'll compete with you to do good deeds. And it's not a question of showing off or being arrogant. No. It's a challenge that is a challenge of doing what is righteous and striving to obey the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Of course, only Allah knows what He's going to accept, but what is wrong with us challenging each other to do what is good? And in our societies today, don't you think that our societies need this? People who are striving, just like people strive to get education, strive in athletics, strive to get money, don't you think it is important for us to strive to do good deeds? To do righteous deeds and actions? To do something to help someone else? Thinking that I'm not looking for a benefit from him or from her, I'm only looking for the benefit from Allah. So I'm doing this solely for the pleasure of Allah. So why don't we strive to do those things? And paramount to this would be to talk to as many people as we can about Allah. To invite the people to the oneness of Allah. To invite the people to obey the commandments of Allah. Because mankind is at loss. The so-called traditional morals or value systems that may have been in existence in many places in the world today, from what I'm hearing, have just been about destroyed, with a few exceptions. So man globally has turned back to being a beast. And what civilized him was the prophets of Allah, the revelation from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and the prophets and messengers of Allah who came to the people in different times to educate them of how, when, why. The methodology of learning to obey Allah and implement it in their lives so they have a civil society. But we see now man returning to what? Barbarism. That Satan is on the assault, and that people are joining this push-button remote control revolution, for lack of a better description, where they become obsessed with materialism, number one, and all of its facets. And number two, satisfying their desires by any means. And of course, with any set of circumstances, unfortunately. And the Prophet ﷺ said more or less, whoever seeks refuge with Allah, then grant him protection. And whoever does you a good turn, then return the favor. It's collected by Abu Dawud and Nisai. And the Prophet ﷺ said, he who does not give thanks to Allah and who does not give thanks to the people does not give thanks to the people. It's collected by Bukhari. So we have the responsibility of thanking people. If people have assisted us or done something good for us, we should thank the people. We should let them know that we appreciate what they've done. They don't necessarily have to do that. And even if they did it for you specifically or for whatever their intention is, that up to us what their intention is. The idea that they've done something good for you. And you should thank them for that good. And you should be happy that Allah has chosen someone who, for whatever the reason may, appreciates you and has done something to favor you. So we should be very happy about that. That this is a blessing from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, that someone does something for you, knowingly or unknowingly. We should be thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and we should be thankful to that individual. So this is a very simple thing, but it is an essential aspect of uniting or maintaining the unification of the hearts. And that part and parcel of that is appreciating people for who they are and for what relationships that you may have. It doesn't mean that you're just appreciating that person because he's a person of status. So because of his status, you are aware and conscious of him and you respect them based on that. But not this only, but you appreciate that person just on the personal relationship that you may have and whatever, and not because that person can do something for you, but just the idea and concept that he has something, that has done something for you, that you appreciate that. And if you can do something for him in turn, or you can beat him to the punch, this is a good thing. So we should make effort to the best of our abilities to strive to do righteous deeds and actions, to encourage others to do that, to invite others to obey the commandments of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, regardless of the society that we live in, that, this is an invitation to what's good. Now we're seeing, for example, athletes, like we just saw the World Cup. You see these brothers, they're making sujood on the field. We're looking at the impact that this has, something that people never have seen before. And people say these are Muslims, and they're thanking Allah in front of the whole world for their success. And this is something new. People before said, well, we have this idea about Islam, but we see that these guys realize that whatever capabilities that they have, it is only by Allah's decree that they could do this. And so they openly thank Allah, realizing this. And of course, this has a huge impact because many people have never seen anything like this before. They don't relate it in this way. They've never themselves thought about this, that, well, whatever my particular status is, that is only by Allah's permission that this has happened. Allah has given me these capabilities, and Allah has made the opportunities available to me, and I should thank him for that. And I'm not shy about this, that, I'm not doing it to impress the people, but I feel it is an obligation for me to thank Allah. And what better way than just openly, an open expression that, oh Allah, overwhelming. In many instances, you find people are just overwhelmed. They're overwhelmed. And internally, they're so thankful for Allah for their successes and whatever it might be. And we see this in all kinds of situations. But just openly, this is the biggest event, the biggest world event. So it's very important, and millions of people are watching it. So it has its own distinguishing factors, which are distinctly different than many people have seen in their whole lives. So if we look at this from this perspective, the Muslims, excuse me, and we see the importance and the value of Islam in every aspect of our life and how we can interrelate it to people regardless of whatever it is that we're doing, whatever it is that we're doing professionally. And it is not to impose ourselves on people, but to make people aware and conscious that we understand something maybe you don't understand. And we're going to explain it in a way that we feel is suitable. And if you have some interest, then we're available for you. And subhanAllah, the Prophet ﷺ said more or less, the believer who mixes with people and bears their insults and with patience is better than the one who does not mix with people or bear their insults with patience. Click by Bukhari. So what does this tell us? That part and parcel of what we should be doing as Muslims is interacting with people, being patient with them, and showing them alternatives to what they may consider to be normal or what they know is predominant in their society and or their belief system. It is not necessarily to attack them, but to show them a distinction and to show them the higher level. Now, there are people who, of course, have different ways of going about doing that. And of course, some people more wise than others. But it is important for us, and specifically in today's world, when we have this medium of exchange where we communicate with each other, to think about these things. And I'm saying the Muslims specifically, that wherever it is that you may be, this is not the time to hide. Some people feel, well, you know, people are attacking me because I'm Muslim. Some people are calling me a terrorist because of the way that I dress, this and the other, because of the way I look, or from the country that I come from, so forth and so on. This is not the time to hide and to be afraid. No. Because people today probably have more questions about Islam than ever in history. And unfortunately, the media has become the medium of exchange for them to get some understanding. And much of what's in the media is totally distorted, and a lot of it is misinformation. So the opportunity for a Muslim to communicate what is correct to someone who isn't a Muslim, or to Muslims themselves who are ignorant about many of the things that are being done, this is a great opportunity for us. And we should look forward to the opportunity. We're not going to impose or attempt to impose on anyone, but just to inform people of something that is better for you. And in that, there is benefit. And the benefit for you is not only here in this world, that your thinking and understanding, your comprehension may only be to this world, but there is something above and beyond this world that you need to understand, and you need to be in contact with it, and you need to be making effort on it, because if you're not, then you're going to come up with a zero. And we know, basically, in any sort of circumstance, if you have a zero, you're in trouble. So think about it. Think about it. Where do you stand? When you talk about your spiritual existence, when you talk about your relationship with your Lord, where are you? Out of 10, where are you? Are you in 0 on this scale? If you are, you're in very serious trouble. And you need to work on this immediately, to right now. Why? People says, well, I have time. I'm young. Who said that? Who guarantees you that you have one more breath to take? You cannot. But one thing you need to be understanding is that if you have a 0 on this side of the scale, that you're in very deep trouble. So you need to work to balance that out. And how do you do that? Get the proper knowledge about Islam, implement it in your life. Day by day, try to make it a reality. Establish the relationship with your Lord and maintain that relationship consistently until you go to the grave. The short of it or the long of it. If you don't do that, if you don't have this opportunity to do that, then time is up for you. You're in very serious trouble. It's a very serious dilemma. People say, well, you know, I heard this program and, you know, I thought about it, and but, you know, the angel of death came and took my soul. SubhanAllah. If you hear this and you believe in it, then accept it. Even if you're alone, if you're sitting alone right now, if you believe, then accept that belief and say to Allah, I believe in what He's saying. I believe there's no God but Allah, the one and only God, the one, the creator, the sustainer, the one who nothing happens without His knowledge, nothing happens without His permission. I believe that. And He is the creator and sustainer of all things, that nothing in His existence exists but by His own pleasure. And I believe that Muhammad, the son of Abdullah, is the last and final prophet. That sure, he came after Jesus Christ, but there's no other prophet coming after him. There was no prophet between them. There's an opportunity for you now. If you're a Christian or a Jew, to take the time out. You might be alone. You might be someplace where you're sick and disabled, and no one can get to you. And I hope that is the case. If there are people like this, that you're looking at this program, and you say this after me, Ashhadu la ilaha illallah wa ashhadu anna Muhammadan Rasulullah. And I testify that there's no God but Allah, who stands alone, has no partners, no associates. He is a sustainer, creator of all things. And I testify that Muhammad, the son of Abdullah, is the last and final prophet. And we hope and we pray that some people hear this now and they will accept Islam for the sake of their own souls, for their own individual salvation. You may have a family who is completely against Islam. We know many people like that. But it doesn't matter. You're going to be in the grave alone. Your family will not be with you. If your house was to explode right now, if you're in a car and it was exploding, everyone died in that car, it would be of no consequence. Each one of you will be dealing with his own situation. You will not be together. You all have to answer individually. So don't worry about what somebody else thinks. Well, my husband is like so-and-so. My wife is like so. My mother, my father, my family, my children. No. None of them can help you. When you return to Allah, they can't help you. Now is the time to help yourself. This reality, it is incumbent upon you now, immediately, not tomorrow, not next year, now, right now. And if you don't believe that, just look around you. Look at the situation. Look at these boys who were trapped in the cave. And the divers went after them. One of the divers himself died trying to save these boys. As an example, it's become an international, you can say, event, for lack of a better description, people praying all over the world for the safety of these boys. And we look and see how Allah works, how some people survive and others don't. So similarly, this is happening on a daily basis. What do you think your condition will be when you come before your Lord? Think about it. Contemplate on it. When we think about doing good, think about doing good for that 6 by 6 by 6. That's right. Or more or less whatever that might be. Because that's where we're going to end up, isn't it? Something similar to that. So think about it. Put it in front of you. If people say, oh, brother, you're terrible. I don't want to think about that. Cut the TV off. I don't want to hear that. No, you better think about it. Time is running out. Don't waste it. This is a reminder for me first and for you second. My name is Tariq Khalid. I'd like to thank you for joining us here at Sharjah Media Corporation on Doing Good, and hope by Allah's mercy and grace that you all move forward to please Allah before the angel of death takes your soul. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.